I gotta do this. John Pomeroy, bring a chair, come here. So we've been having breakthroughs, I know, but lately I've been talking about Doc a lot. I just see him everywhere. I hear him. I mean, it's been so long, but remember when I told you he said, Neiden, just because your parents can afford to send you here, doesn't mean you should be here. Where are you going? I wasn't finished. It's like... That's one. I want to share something with you. I sat right at the top of those stairs, a little bit to that side, and I was hiding. I fucked up something. And this was the safest place to come because they were teching Romeo and Juliet, and it was dark in here, and nobody could find me. Doc was sitting right where Linda is sitting, watching the tech. Something went terribly wrong. The costumes they couldn't get their arms high enough, and they were doing fencing, and I think it was Jeff Hart got tagged right close to the eye. And Bill was furious, called for the costumer who didn't come in. So he was going to text something, but he was really mad, and I'm sitting up there watching this. The lights went down, there was glow tape all over the stage. He walked over there in the dark, and then he walked out that door. And from sitting up there, the tape was blinking as his form was going by. So what year was Romeo and Juliet? 1977. Since then, I've seen tons of shows, all over the place. When the lights go down and the actors come on stage, it blinks. And he's with me. Next time you see a show, he's with you, right at that time. Well then, good evening. I get the honor of hustling you back to the bar outside. Let's thank tonight's writers, directors, and performers, and all the awesome talent involved in planning and performing and delivering such a beautiful show. Also, the showcase kind of ends the official part of the weekend as the last on-campus event. So let's hear it for Kimberly Jones. Staff and the hard-working reunion committee for their incredible work that made this weekend run so smoothly. You're all invited to the final cast party at the Coleman home, which begins at 9:30. Please remain here and enjoy each other's company here until then, as they need time to set up. You will be shot on sight if you get there at 9:29. Nick has amazingly arranged a deal with Uber for free rides. So see Nick while we mingle at the end for the promo code or catch a ride with someone who knows what Uber is. I think you'd agree that this evening's showcase has beautifully wended its way from painting a richly textured picture of Doc and Doc's time here, mentoring writers, faculty, designers, techies, actors, and his beloved directors, to thoughts and visions of the future of the Drake Theater Department itself. John, are you still here?
Yeah.
I was thinking all the time that I had been out in the real world, well, they should call this place a conservatory. And then I went to conservatories. Tonight, I think it's a strategic move not to ever call this a conservatory. It's too limited. The things I learned how to grommet, made money with that in New York, learned how to run lights, how to hang lights. This is and will be, we know it's a private thing. It's a conservatory. It's a great conservatory. But I don't think we need to call it that. I think it's such a best-kept secret, and enrollment's going up, and its best days are ahead of it. But that's how I feel tonight. But it's an important discussion that I will go on to say that you're all supposed to be a part of. Where else would you have a teacher? David Jones is here. That same production of Romeo and Juliet was here, and then they toured it. Much to their chagrin in some ways, much to its success in others. And in one of the small towns, they had their own lights. It was all, an all-encompassing. They really were players from town to town. They brought their own lights with them. And in one town, some bonehead moved, they popped out the lights. So they called Drake, got David Jones on the phone. Where are you? Okay. He got in the truck, had a trailer behind him full of lights, drove an hour and a half, 2 hours. They're all like, oh, thanks. And he gets out of his truck, he pops off the hitch, gets back in his truck, and drives off. I don't think they do that at a conservatory. Here, in the space that Doc built for us to try and fail and lose and win and learn and argue and understand, we got to work with the master. A benevolent dictator who loved us as both friend and father figure. Doc never believed that every kid should get a trophy, but he could make your whole semester by just noticing a small piece of business you tried after a third performance of a run. And if he mentioned it, you knew you were doing well. Doc taught us that theater is a craft and a process, and not a democracy. The play's the thing, always, always. And if even one of us doesn't get there, none of us are going to get there. So what's left? He would want us to keep looking to the future and make sure this department is the same strong, safe, creative place in years to come. We are all returning tonight, this weekend, because we have memories and pride in our education and the enduring friendships forged during our years at Drake. And that doesn't have to end tonight. Keep in contact with our department, our collective department. Read about what they're doing, chime in, give what you can, visit here and see their shows, and allow the present classes to work their way toward their own dedications and reunions. I'm going to call your attention to a plaque that will be by Doc's portrait in his words. The arts are the most important endeavor of any civilization. They are our mirror. They are our spirit. They are our real history. All art is political. Comedy subverts with laughter. Tragedy reveals the pain we suffer through the failure of political, moral, and religious systems. And for good measure, I'll leave you to ponder a thought that in these politically correct times should haunt this institution moving forward. A university must be a model for society, not a mirror. Doc's word. Thank you one and all, and exclusively one whose efforts simply defy enumeration, but define every second of this whole weekend. Linda.